I want to talk about how using Suno now for a little over 2 weeks has changed my life and my trajectory as an artist myself and as a producer for that matter. So I wrote a lot of songs that only exist as piano vocals, as demos, because it takes a lot of time to produce a song yourself on the computer. You have to program every part, you have to find the right sounds, twiddle, tweak, fine tune, change parts. And if you don't play all the instruments, you have to program them with sample libraries. That's complicated. For example, creating a guitar part, there is sample libraries, yes, but getting the right guitar part, it still will only be an approximation of what a real and creative guitar player would do authentically. Authentically, I mean by actually having a real instrument in his hands and playing the way a guitar player would play, not just playing it on the keyboard, triggering samples of a strummed guitar. So it's a non-gratifying type of job to program music, frankly. And I've done it for so many years now, decades, that I'm kind of ready to move on and be my own artist and just write and have somebody else play it, hire a band. But for that, I need budget. So with Suno, I'm able to upload those piano vocal demos, tell it what tempo it is, tell it what key it is, because it sometimes gets the interpretation a little wrong of the key, even though it gets the chord progression interpretation right for the most part. Sometimes it has a few substitutions, which are sometimes creative, sometimes not. Sometimes not what I want, but then you can change the prompt for another generation of ideas. And it also gets the lyrics right, quite amazingly so. I sing very clearly, so maybe that's why. And then you tell it what kind of style, the mood, the instrumentation you want, as detailed as possible to get the outcome that you want. So it's still my vision, it's my song, my lyrics, my tempo, my key. It's in the key of my voice, so I can then basically create backing tracks and later replace the voice that Suno creates with my lyrics and my melody. It then always creates it with another voice. And sometimes the voice even gives me ideas of how to interpret the song slightly differently in certain spots. And the arrangement certainly gives ideas. And that's how I found out about Suno. I always knew it existed, but I didn't know it was a viable tool for myself. In fact, I thought it was dangerous for producers, would get us it would basically make us obsolete. I was actually very, very almost depressed about it for a while. But then a co-producer of mine said, dude, upload a piano vocal. In fact, he told me, text me a piano vocal. I texted it to him. Shout out to Bob. He uploaded it over the phone, generated it. It was kind of like a shuffle ballad, 1970s style. And all of a sudden, I got goosebumps and almost tears rolling down my face. I was like, in 30 seconds, he made my song come alive over the phone. So I signed up with Suno and I've been using it for that, for like uploading piano vocal demos of mine to immediately get arranged. It's been such an awakening for me because now I hear my songs arranged all of a sudden, beautifully arranged with string arrangement if I put it in the prompt. Things that I wouldn't even be able to do in the same way, would have to hire a string arranger to do it really properly. Some of these arrangements sound like Nelson Riddle type of string arrangement. Nelson Riddle worked with Frank Sinatra. And, as artists, we're often insecure. Sometimes I'm insecure about my songs. I know they're good, but just hearing them as piano vocals, everything starts to kind of sound similar because it's just piano vocals, up tempo, down tempo, ballad, shuffle, funky. It all kind of sounds the same, especially I'm not the most versatile pianist. And when I'm singing the demos, I'm focusing on the lyrics, the chords, the melody, the vocal expression. Is too many things to focus on. So it's just a demo. It's not, perfectly expressive. So now it's completely changing the way I'm going to move forward from now on. And that's also been a reason why I've not been doing so many videos in the last 2 weeks, because I'm like reinventing myself. I'm now creating backing tracks instead of doing my streaming live performances just on the keyboard and occasionally playing a backing track of some of the songs that I do have produced. I can now create backing tracks for pretty much all of them. I will still occasionally play one live on the keyboard because I think it's nice to do that too. But to now have the majority produced and produced in different styles, some of them funky, some of them R&B-ish, some of them electronic, synth pop, that is just a complete game changer. Because it's going to allow me in my live streams also to be more expressive as a singer, not having to focus on chords, on lyrics. Uh, uh, well, on lyrics, yes, but not on chords so much. But I can really focus on the voice, on singing, on the expression and the lyrics. So that's going to be a complete game changer. And I'm actually creating backing tracks for my repertoire. So I'm using Suno not to then use the vocals that it also generates. I will replace those with my own voice. And then when you download it, you can download the stems and you can also download the instrumental and the vocal separate. So I do that for a lot of them and then use the instrumental for my live performances, for my set list. So that's just going to be such a game changer. Another game changer is that I can now create song demos for other artists instantly. Don't have to think, okay, this is a female artist. I'm gonna have to hire a female singer. I can do this now in Suno. It's almost criminal, but it's not taking anybody's work away because I wouldn't have hired anybody right now. I don't have the extra budget right now to focus on that. It's not a priority at this very moment, and it would be too cost prohibitive because you have to try singers, you have to pay them to come for the session fee, for there's different fees. It gets expensive. You're talking about several $100s per song minimum just to shop it. No guarantee that you're going to get the song cut and make any money off of it. So now I can create those song demos, pitch them to publishers, A&R, and artists. That's going to be a whole new thing I can pursue again. I haven't pursued that in years. So those are just a couple examples of how it's been changing my life. More to come. Stay tuned.